spiritual levels. No dancing with devils, no fellow with rebels. Some digging with shovels, they digging real deep. Some humble, they hearken, they listen, they meet. Some praise the Most High 7 days of the week. Some put in that work and go teach in the streets. Some just come to take up the air that we breathe. Some come just to take up the space that we need. Their spiritual levels, they come in all shapes and the such.
The first thing you want to do with this process is take off the engine cover, and then the second thing you want to do is take off the air intake hose or line. So you got one at the top and one at the end where the air box is at, and one where the throttle body is at. So you can use either a flathead screwdriver or a 6mm or I believe a 7mm hex socket to get it out, and you can use your drill to get it out. It'll be real quick. Either way, it's fast. And then one of my first steps I do is it's a screw in the back. On some of y'all vehicles, it will have a what is it called? Some type of cap on there, and you got to get it off. Mine's already done because I changed my plug, so you want to get that off first. It is held on by a 3/8 socket, I believe so. If not, it's a 1/2, so it is a 3/8. You will need that to get that off.
I have my intake cover off. It comes with that screw. You got this screw right here, this screw right here, that screw right there, that screw back there, and then that screw right there.
Okay, right here, I do recommend using a drill. It's much faster process. If you use it manually, it takes a lot longer. Actually, I had to go back and change my sensor on this process because I couldn't get my inspection done because of the sensor. But I had to go back and get my sensor done, and it took about 20 minutes to get everything done, put back together. But right now, I am taking out the back of the intake. It's using the same hex bolt. It should be a 10mm socket for this side, and 10mm socket.
I wish I could have showed y'all, but I already got everything ready for me to just take that off and put the new part on right here. But this is how you also get to your spark plugs. So you got the spark plug. These are already open on this side, on the spark plugs. And then this side is what's getting covered. So you got this side. All is held on by a 10mm socket and a ratchet. So you get 10mm socket, pull them all up. And this comes on top of it too. But I'm gonna show y'all when I put it back all together. But I'm gonna replace this piece right here because it's leaking from the back, as you can see. Still can see some of the water back there.
So I made this picture just for y'all. The ones that circled in red are the screws you got to take out to get to the to take off the lower intake gasket. So they are the same size hex socket to get off the intake. The actual intake should be a 7 or 8mm socket. So you take those off, and you want to unplug all the spark plug wires. That's where I got them. Some of them boxed in. You want to unplug those wires. It takes a few seconds. The last thing you want to do is get rid of take out those tabs, because when you get done, you will see in the video you got to move it, and with those tabs in, you won't be able to move it. So first thing, once again, take out the screws, then pull out the spark plug wire sensors, and then pull out the tabs. But you can do it in any order. But there you go. So what you about to see here is me getting one screw out. I'm not sure what the hell Mopar did, but I was only able to get one out with the drill bit. The screws are not script, but I'm not sure what the hell was wrong with them. But the screws, it wouldn't let me zip them all, the rest of them out. I even tried in the video using the manual hex and twisting it to the left and all that good stuff, but that still didn't work. So I had to get a smaller size hex socket, hammer it in, and get it. So you'll see that in the midst of the video, but I want to let y'all know, if you do have trouble with it, just make sure you have some extra tools on you, or have a smaller socket to go ahead and pound it in with a hammer to get them out, because I'm not sure what they did with the manufacturer one. It is a 7mm socket that gets them out, but they fucking suck at. But yeah. not, sorry I couldn't record this, but there's not really a certain way you pull the filter out. But I did get the filter out that you're about to see. So you want to pull where my right hand is at on the oil filter. You want to pull from that part first and then pull from the back, because that the oil filter little tubing is kind of stuck in there, or it's kind of sealed in there. So you want to pull that up first and then pull it back. But it's all up to you. You can. I did pull from the front and then pull from the oil housing. I was trying to figure out which way to pull it from. But it isn't hard. You just gotta put a little bit more pressure. You gotta put a little pressure on it. Also on that, you got the two sensors. You got the oil pressure sensor and your oil temp sensor. You just pull those out, and you have a coolant hose going to the heater core, and it's pretty simple to get that out. But you want to pull this. You want to pull the housing out first, and then take the hose clamp off to get the rest of the housing off. So pull the sensors off first, and then take the oil clamp off the hose and pull that off. So after you take the hose clamp off the coolant, take the hose clamp off the oil filter housing, you will leak oil and coolant. So I do recommend that you use a suctioning tube or something, a vacuum or something. I use a towel. I was trying to improvise because I wasn't, I didn't think about it having to bring anything to suck out the stuff. So I did use a towel to get most of it out. But right now, you see me. You can use a razor or you can use a flathead screwdriver. Some of the reason that it is leaking because the oil housing has those rubber seals on the bottom. So when you pull it up, you will see it stuck on the engine part where the little holes are at. So you might need you will need a razor or a flathead screwdriver to scrape some of that rubber off, because it's pretty much sealed on there so good. But you see me scraping it right now, but just letting y'all know. So once you get all the oil and stuff off, and you get off the rubber sealing from the engine bay, you want to go ahead and put it back, and you want to start with the coolant hose first. I do recommend changing the coolant hose. It's very tight back there, and it's hard to get it on. Or at least with the tool I was using, you can use an actual hose clamp tool to get it off. But I will put a picture up here and show y'all what to use. You can use it's a hose clamp hose that you can get from any type of department store, Walmart, or preferably AutoZone. You go up to the front counter, they have the hose clamps there. You can use a flathead to screw it in. That's the ones I do recommend replacing that one, because it's really hard to put it back on. I couldn't even get it on. It was damn near impossible. You see me struggling with it right now, but I do recommend getting that too. I do keep a spare clamp on me, so I had one in my bag. I was like, oh, thank God. I remembered I had one, so I put that on there. Right now I'm using, I think, a 6mm socket to tighten it in there. That's where you see me with the extension. It should be a 6mm socket or a 7mm socket just to tighten it, instead of having to worry about using a clamp, a hose clamp, or any type of vice grip, shit like that. But also put some, if y'all can, put some WD-40 on that hose, or put some hose rubber grease on there or something like that, so the hose can last as long as it's possible, because it is in a bad spot. And it doesn't take too long, but it takes a minute to get everything back off the vehicle, just to get back to that part in the back. Alright, so my bad, y'all. People kept calling me, phone eventually died, so I couldn't give y'all the rest of the video. That pretty much is it, but just had to put everything back. It's a really quick process if you know what you're doing. I think I mentioned in the middle of the video, I I had to get my inspection and couldn't pass it because what is it? It was showing my my oil pan light on my car, and I was like, what the hell? So I figured out it was that oil pressure sensor. So when you get onto your if you had the 2011 to 2014 Dodge Charger, you go all the way down and it shows your temp, coolant, oil temp, and then your pressure. My pressure was not reading, so it was an obvious sign that it was the oil pressure sensor that came with that I got from eBay that was faulty as hell. So I had to put the original one back on there. So yeah, just make sure y'all double check and all that good stuff. But my bad again, I couldn't give y'all the ending to put everything back together. But this is also how to change your spark plugs too. So that's how you get to your spark plugs. But make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so y'all get notified every time I upload a video.
Then they cursed in the ghettos. Some have faith, they trust and believe. Some